All right. Coastal Division. My name is Ben Jackson, Division Manager. I'm with Ryan Manley here, one of our representatives from our pilot office. And he requested that I do a presentation for him. So we're going to record this together and go through, and he's going to be Miss Manley, beautiful Miss Manley. And I'm going to essentially just do the demo for him. We might take a few minutes to debrief on a couple sections, but I think, Ryan, the main thing that I'd recommend that you do as we're going through is just write down any questions that you have. And I think we should probably just treat this just like a customer. I might pause a couple times. I'm not sure. We'll see the flow.
Okay.
But any questions that you have, if you want to jot down. But let's kind of get into customer type of mode and feel that. And then we might debrief a couple times as we're going through. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. Well, Miss Manley, I want to start by just saying thank you so much for seeing me today. This means the world, and I really appreciate it. I do want to let you know that Kutka is a product that's been around for a long time, and I know you had mentioned you had a couple friends who have it, but you don't have it yourself, right?
That's correct. Yes, I have a few friends. They love it.
Awesome, awesome. Well, you know it's awesome stuff, and I think this is a product that you're really going to love. You're really going to enjoy. Don't get me wrong, Miss Manley. Like, you could totally live with plastic forks and spoons if you wanted to, but I mean, I know Jenny told me that you really like nice stuff and you like to cook, so I think you'll really appreciate this stuff. But you don't have to get anything today, but I'm going to tell you, you're going to want what I'm about to show you. This is a product that people honestly, as they do the presentation, they really enjoy it. So I think you're really going to like it. By the way, she told me that y'all have kids that play baseball together, right?
We do. We have a couple kids. They play baseball.
Yeah, your son. She told me your son's name's John. He plays second base. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yes.
Awesome, awesome. So very cool. Has he been playing for a long time?
He's been playing for a few years now. Yes.
And I know she told me that they play travel ball together. Is he also on the school team, or does he just play travel ball?
He just does travel ball.
Okay, awesome. So that keeps y'all busy, I'm sure.
Yes, it does. It does.
Gotcha. What about your daughter? I know she mentioned that you have an older daughter who's in college. Is that right?
She is in college. She's a senior this year.
Awesome. What school does she go to?
UGA.
Does she like it?
Yeah, she likes it.
Well, what year is she?
What year?
Yeah. Is she going into her sophomore year next year?
She's a senior at UGA.
Oh,
so
awesome.
This is her last year.
Awesome. And did she go to Harrison as well?
She did not go to Harrison. We moved here recently, actually.
Oh, gotcha. Where'd she go to high school?
She went to high school. We used to live in South Carolina.
Okay, like Columbia area or near the coast?
Columbia area, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Near like Lake Irmo, or where were y'all?
Yeah, we're 30 minutes away from that lake. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
So not too far.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, good deal. We'll go ahead and dive right in. Ryan, I usually take like 15 minutes building rapport, but that's a gist of what I do. Okay. So I'm usually building rapport like that until she says, "All right, Ben, well, what were you going to show me again?" Like,
okay.
I kind of just let her tell me when she's comfortable and ready to start.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So Ben, do you have any tips, like when you're building rapport with different customers? Are there any specific, say if your recommendation didn't tell you things about them, are there any good key questions to ask?
See, that's the thing. You have to know. You need to take the time when you're taking notes on recs. You need to find out information to talk like you're part of the family.
All right.
You need, like, when I'm getting recommendations, I'm not just getting the recs. I'm also sitting there taking notes about her son and daughter's name and where they go to school and what position her son plays on the baseball team and what country clubs they're members of or what neighborhoods they live in. Like, I want to know everything that I can about that person before I do a demo for her, because the more I know, the more she looks at me as being almost like literally like part of the family. and it becomes easier and easier to do the presentation for her if that's how she feels.
Okay.
So
Yes.
those kind of rapport nuggets, I guess you could call it, are really beneficial.
All right. All right.
Does that help?
Yes. So get more info when you're getting the recs. That's a
Yeah,
good tip.
I'm taking notes when I'm getting recs, and I'm taking notes, Ryan, on the phone. And the reason I'm
Okay.
doing that is when I get to the demo, I want to build rapport on the phone, and I want to build rapport on the demo. And I also want to create a buying atmosphere and a family type of feel when I'm on the phone and when I'm starting out in the demo.
Okay.
Cool?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome.
Got it.
All right. Well, Ms. Jones, let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling. So you've never seen a Cutco presentation before, right?
I haven't, but I'm willing to watch it. I'm just gonna let you know up front though, I'm not gonna buy anything today.
Ms. Jones, everybody tells me that, by the way, and that's totally okay. Just so you
Okay.
know, most of the people that I see, they say that. And you know why? Because they've never seen Cutco before. So my guess, Miss Manley, is that you'll probably find something that you like. Hey, but just so you know, I get paid to show it, but most people do find something they like. So all I ask, Miss Manley, is that you just keep an open mind. Because if I was going to show you something that you could buy once, never have to replace, it was forever guaranteed, that would change your life forever, would you want to have it?
Possibly. We'll see about that.
Yeah, I think you're probably going to like it. But all I ask is that you just keep an open mind. Cool?
Okay, we could do that.
Awesome, awesome. Most people do find something they like. But let me go ahead and get started. Do you mind if I kind of share a little bit about me and why I'm doing this and some of my goals with the job?
Sure, go ahead.
Awesome. Do you see on your screen there where it says, thank you for helping me to reach my goals, and then what is Cutco? Do you see that?
Yes, I see it.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to make that a little bit bigger for you. How's that?
Yes, I can see it fine.
Okay, perfect, perfect. So I actually grew up, Miss Manley, in the Atlanta area, and I currently go to SMU. I'm a student at SMU studying finance and economics. And the reason I actually got started with the job is I got hurt in baseball. So I was pitching to a buddy in the cage, and he hit a line drive shot back, hit me in the face. I broke 4 bones here, 5 down the side of my face. I had to get plastic reconstructive surgery. It was kind of one of those freak accidents. It was kind of crazy. And I had to stop playing baseball for a little bit. I got back 8 weeks later. I tore a ligament in my shoulder, and I was one of those kids that was like always used to doing something and playing baseball, just like your son. So I knew I needed to get a job where I could have something to kind of fill my time, fill my energy, because I didn't really want to sit by the pool like a lot of my buddies were doing that summer. I wanted something that was going to get me out there, give me some experience, build my resume, and that was really important to me. And I had a couple friends that were working with Cutco. I found out in the training how awesome the products were, and as I started doing demos, I found that people really like this stuff. I've currently sold over $300,000 worth of Cutco personally as a college student. I've won scholarships with the company, and I found that people really enjoy the product. And by the way, if you do see something you like, it definitely does help me get me one step closer towards my scholarship. My mission for this summer is to sell over $50,000 to Cutco, and that will put me in the scholarship rankings to be in the top 50 in the U.S. And hey, if you want to go ahead and take care of all 50,000 and just do like your business gifts today, we could totally do like Christmas shopping. We could do birthday shopping. We could do like everything for your family that you would need for like the next 5 years. We could totally do that. I'm just kidding, Ms. Jones, but you can if you want. But I think you're really gonna like this stuff. But my mission this summer is to do over $50,000 in sales. And a typical day for me when I do 4 presentations, I'll typically be around $4,000 in sales for the day. Some people get a lot more, and some people get smaller orders. But there's a lot of different things that you can get, and I'll show you everything that we have. Some people get the kitchen, which has knives, cookware, flatware. Some people get like a package deal, like a set of the knives and a set of cookware. Some people just get a set of the knives because that's one of our flagship products. But my goal is that we find what's right for you and your family, and everything that we find for you today that you're going to use, love, and enjoy every single day for the rest of your life. And this is a product that's going to save you time, money, and energy. So that's my goal as we go throughout the presentation today.
Okay.
Now, I'm also shooting to win a President's Club letter, which will look awesome on my resume. I actually have won it for the last couple campaigns, and I'm looking forward to winning that again. And I'm going to just be actually looking at some notes. So if you see me looking over, I'm looking at my notes just to make sure I do everything perfectly throughout the presentation, okay?
Okay, that's fine.
Perfect, perfect. Now I want to start with a quick product video, just to kind of give you a feel of the product since you've never seen that before. So I'm going to scroll down here, and I will be making some commentary throughout the video just so you can get a feel of what it's like to own Cutco, okay?
Okay.
Now, just so you know, these are real clients, just like your friend Jenny, who's had Cutco for almost 15 years. I know she's told you a little bit about the product. These are real clients that have had the products for years. You know, Cutco started in 1949, so we've been in business 71 years. We make all of the knives for the U.S. military and U.S. Marine Corps, and we've been doing so for almost 30 years now. We also donate a lot of money, millions of dollars per year, to some large charities like the Breast Cancer Foundation, Feeding America, the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So you'll see a little bit of a feel of our culture, as well as some of our glimpses of our factory, which is up in Olean, New York. I've had an opportunity to visit the factory every November for the last couple of years and actually see the products being made. It's really cool. So you'll get a feel of that right here. And let me go ahead and share my computer sound with you. Okay.
You know, I think we got knives for our wedding.
Okay.
They didn't last the test of time.
I cut things and like saw through the tomato, and it's starting to like mush underneath me.
It seemed that they got dull very quickly. Sometimes we just couldn't find the right knife to do what we needed it to do. But since we've got Cutco and we have the variety of knives, each knife really does something different.
And by the way, what type of knives are you currently using right now, Miss Manley? Like, are they wooden handles, plastic handles? What are they like?
We have plastic handles, I think.
Plastic handles? How do you like them?
They're fine. They haven't given me many issues.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people say that. They're like, you know, I never really thought about it until you asked me that question, Ben. Now, that's the thing, Miss Manley, you don't really want to have to think about using something in the kitchen. You want it to be seamless and easy, right?
Yes.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you put your knives in the dishwasher?
We try not to, but every once in a while we do.
Would it make it easier if you could just toss them in the dishwasher and not have to worry about it?
Yeah, that would be nice if they
Okay,
were
so you would
dishwasher
like them to be dishwasher safe?
safe.
Why do you not put them in the dishwasher?
Because it'll dull them.
It dulls
I
them, and
noticed that it
also,
dulls
have you
the
ever,
blade.
yeah, have you ever noticed the little spots on them? If you take them out of the dishwasher, there's little spots that can turn into rust.
Do
Do yours have little rust spots on them at all?
They do, because we've had them a while.
Have you ever thought about like that gets into your food and like your kids are actually eating like little specks of rust?
Oh no.
Have you ever thought about that?
I haven't thought of that.
Now you have, right? Now, by the way, they actually recommend if you buy plastic handled knives from, and where did you get them? Did you get them at like Macy's or Target or Walmart, or get them as a gift or something?
I think I got them at Target.
Okay. They actually recommend, if you look at like how long knives typically last, if you get knives at like Walmart, Target, or like a lower end department store, they actually recommend that you switch them out every 2 to 4 years. How long have you had yours for?
I've had them about, well, we've probably had them 6 or 7 years.
Okay, so you've had them 6, so it's about time to replace them anyway, huh?
I guess. I mean, they don't give me many issues, but maybe.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Miss Manley. Would you, if you're going to use something every day, like put on a pair of shoes, would you want to have a pair of shoes that's like has a hole in it that you just kind of get by with? Or would you replace that pair of shoes because you use it every day?
I'd probably replace them depending on the price.
Yeah, I think a lot of time what happens, Miss Manley, is people don't really think about their knives because they don't really have a comparison to it. I find a lot of time when people experience and use our products, they end up experiencing something totally different. But we'll see how that plays out.
When we first picked up the knives, we could
And all I'm getting her doing there, Ryan, is getting her thinking. I'm just planting a seed like, listen, lady, chill out. Like, I know you told me you're not going to get anything, but you're about to. So I'm just seed planting, Ryan. I'm just kind of seed planting the fact that you closed off to me and said you weren't. And hey, I'm not going to push you, but I'm just going to keep putting stuff in your mind of why you should consider it. And by the end of the demo, you know what's going to happen.
Tell the difference. We weren't used to having such sharp blades. The tool's working like they were supposed to.
We actually use them so frequently, I can't put them away. It's just part of our kitchen now.
When it comes to preparing food and cooking meals for your family, a set of sharp, dependable knives in your kitchen can be the difference between cooking because you have to or cooking because you want to. With the right knives, food preparation is a breeze. With the wrong ones, not so much.
I can't compare the Cutco to any knife that they sell in a department store because I've tried them all. The only knives I have are Cutco.
With preparing meals for 10 people 3 times a day, I need a knife that I know I can go to that has the quality that's going to work every time, and Cutco does it for me. Cutco quality is number one.
Since 1949, for millions of families across the country, the right knives are Cutco knives. Cutco knives are made right here in America, always have been. And today, hundreds of Cutco team members craft.
So Michelle, this is our factory, and our average factory worker has been there almost 20 years. So there's multi-generations in the factory. We're a family-held, privately run business. So it's really, really cool. A lot of the work is actually done, you can see a lot of the work is done by hand and is kind of built over the years. Now, of course, these days we use some robotics and things like that, but there's a lot of care that goes into making our product.
Each knife with an artisan's eye for quality and detail. This level of craftsmanship is one of the reasons that every Cutco knife comes with a forever guarantee, a powerful promise.
Now, what this means, Manly, is that the knives, you buy them once, they never have to be replaced, and they're forever guaranteed. So there's 4 major points to our guarantee. Point number 1 is the fact that in the guarantee, what's cool is we actually do all sharpening for the client. So let's say you want to get them sharpened, no problem. We take care of that for you for free. So you can send them back to the factory, or we can even have a rep come out to your home and sharpen them in your home for them for free. That's definitely different than any other products that are out there. There's no other company that will come into your home and sharpen your knives. They actually recommend in stores, like when you buy a nice set of Wusthof or Henckels or Shun, they recommend it to their clients that you sharpen them before or after every single use. So the difference with Cutco is we take care of all the sharpening for the client. We recommend straight edges get touched up every 2 to 4 years. And the double D edges, we recommend getting those touched up every 7 to 10 years. I'll explain the difference between straight edges and double D edges. Basically, our double D edge is kind of like what you know a serrated edge to be, but it's very different in design and the way that it cuts, and you'll see that here in a minute. We also have a replacement for misuse and abuse, which is basically like if you misuse the knives, son takes them outside, tries to chop down a tree with it, we'll still replace it for half retail value, which I think is pretty fair. We have a 15-day unconditional money-back guarantee as well. And that just gives you the opportunity today. I know that you're watching this online, and you're also checking it out over the computer. So you're not actually holding, feeling, and using Cutco in your home. Obviously, the best way to make a decision is by using it in your home, right? So what's cool, we give you the opportunity to break Cutco up over 5 months. Okay, so whatever you choose to get today, you break it up over 5 months. You put it on a credit card, and you just put down 1/5 of it today, okay? And that gives you the opportunity to be able to try it, use it, experience it in your home with your family. What I always recommend to all of our clients, just put your Cutco set next to that other set that you've been using for the last 6 years and see which one you use more. I mean, obviously, I know the answer to that question, but you don't 100% because you haven't used it yet. I'm a college kid, and I wouldn't use anything different than Cutco. I've had the experience of using other knives versus using Cutco. And I mean, your friend Jenny, she's been using it for 15 years. When I did the demo for her, she upgraded her set from her galley to the complete set when I did the demo for her. And her exact words, she goes, Ben, I wish I had bought everything Cutco the first time Because when I went to using my other can opener, I'm like, dang it, I wish this was Cutco. When I went to using my other ice cream scoop, she's like, dang it, I wish this was Cutco. And she's just kind of replaced other things over the years with Cutco products. So we do sharpening, servicing, everything like that. When you purchase Cutco, you buy it once, use it forever. By the way, you can pass it down generation to generation. It's forever guaranteed. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
You like the sound of that?
Yes, it sounds good.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it'd be pretty cool if Cutco made gas, didn't it?
Yeah,
Like you could just fill up your gas tank, right? It'd be pretty cool. Or like, what kind of phone do you have? Show me your phone. What kind of phone do you have?
My phone. I have an iPhone.
You have an iPhone? What if Apple said, you know what? If something happens to the phone, no problem. We'll just come over and pick it up and we'll ship you a brand new one, or we'll bring you over a new one. How cool would that be?
That would be cool.
And oh, by the way, you bought yours 40 years ago, your iPhone. Well, we're actually going to send you the brand new iPhone. You know, because that new operating system and the new, hey, no, if something happens to that one you bought 10 years ago, no problem. We'll just send you the brand new one. How cool would that be?
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, now you're starting to understand why everybody buys Cutco, because it's just such a great investment.
We've stood behind since our founding in 1949. That means your Cutco.
Do you feel what I'm doing throughout?
Yes,
Yes. Cutco set will be the last set of knives you'll ever need to buy. 10 years, 20 years, even generations down the road, Cutco will sharpen your knives and replace any defective item for free. No one else does that because no one else is Cutco.
They stand behind their product, which is very rare. And they're an American company, which is even better.
It's a lifetime warranty, so I did have the experience of having it once replaced with no questions asked.
Warranty on a knife that we've had for over a decade, and we've had a couple knives replaced that have been damaged. It was very easy.
Cutco can make this guarantee because of the unique patented design and the meticulous multi-step construction process that goes into its knives. It's what makes Cutco unique and a cut above all others in quality, durability, and user satisfaction. Cutco puts each blade through a 3-step heat treating process, creating the best balance of hardness.
Now that's the difference between Cutco and the other knives. That 3-treat process, you know how like you mentioned yours kind of rust a little bit over time?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Cutco's a 440A, you want to write this down, 440A high carbon surgical stainless steel. So what that means, it's the same steel that doctors use for surgical instruments. So it's going to be very, very sanitary to use. You don't have to worry about it rusting, pitting, or corroding. By the way, Miss Manley, no other company uses high carbon surgical stainless steel that's 440A grade because they don't want to spend the money. And they also know that if they did, their knives would last longer and people wouldn't go into the stores and do what?
And rebuy them.
Yeah, the difference between Cutco is we would much rather explain the quality and the price of Cutco once and have it be something that you're able to have in your home for a long time, that we're able to service and take care of, than have to apologize for you having to go replace your products over and over and over again.
Hardness, flexibility, rust and stain resistance, and edge retention. After that, the blade is meticulously polished to enhance rust resistance. And then comes the secret to Cutco's sharpness and durability, the exclusive Double D Reset.
Now, by the way, Ms. Jones, this stands for double durable. So double durable. So basically what that means is, do you see those little points there?
Yes, I do.
Those points are actually meant for protection, but it cuts with the inside of the edge. So it cuts with 3 different angles, almost like it's cutting forward, backward, and straight down at the same time. So it's a lot quicker and a lot easier when you're cutting and cooking something in the kitchen. And obviously your goal as a mom, Miss Manley, your goal is to be in and out in the kitchen as quickly as you possibly can. Like, you don't want to be spending extra time away from your kids and your family that you don't have to spend. So a big goal of Cutco is that we can make things easier for you in the kitchen.
Recessed edge. This process creates a series of 3.
Notice how, Ryan, I'm focused on the benefit the client's getting, not necessarily just the feature. It's about the benefit that they're experiencing.
Razor-sharp edges on the blade, with pointed teeth that protect it from contacting surfaces that might dull the knife. The Double D recessed edge allows the blade to cut forward, backward, or straight down with equal ease. You can cut virtually anything, which makes food preparation easy, fast, and fun. Here's proof of how sharp a Cutco blade is. This is a tough piece of leather, and using a regular kitchen knife, even a brand new one.
You see the handles? Does that kind of look like your steak knives, that plastic handle steak knife?
It does. That looks just like it.
Watch Cutco. Check this out.
Cutting it is practically impossible. Now, watch what the Cutco table knife can do. Notice its rounded design for added safety and no rivets, so it looks great on your table. But can it cut? Can it ever?
Sharpness is everything. The product from Cutco is head and shoulders above any other knife that I've ever used. They do exactly what I want them to do for me every single time.
Here's something you might not know. You may all.
Do you have a drawer like that or a block, Miss Manley?
We have a block.
Okay, gotcha. You like the block, right?
Yes, I prefer the block.
It makes it easy to access, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know those little bolts? Do you see those little bolts on the knife there?
Yes, I do.
Do your knives have that, or those are called rivets? Do your knives have that?
I think they have rivets, yeah.
Okay. And the tang is basically how far the steel goes back into the handle of the knife. Let me show you what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So look at the camera here. Do you see the rivet?
Yes, I
Rivets
do.
are those little bolts. And then the tang is how far the steel goes back in the handle. Does yours have a full tang like that or like partial?
I'm not sure. I can't tell because you can't see through the handle on mine.
Okay, well then that means it doesn't go all the way through, or they would show you.
Oh. Okay.
If they're plastic handle and you bought them at Target, that means they were probably made in China. And as you know,
right.
Stuff in China, they like to save a lot of what?
They save money.
Yeah, I mean, it's cheap manufacturing, right? So you're going to notice a lot of difference about the balance of the knife. Chances are when you pick yours up, you feel like yours is probably top heavy because the steel doesn't go all the way through the handle. So this is going to be a lot more balance in the design and the feel. Check out this handle, by the way.
Yeah.
See how it like literally it's made to like fit to the customer's hand. Like it's going to feel the first time when you open up your box and you take them out, it's going to feel like we took a mold of your hand and made the knife like that. Thomas Lamb, he designed the shifter for the Porsche Carrera, and he also designed the joystick the fighter jets use in the Air Force. He designed our handles, and he actually studied a lot of hands, about 1,000 hands before he designed the handle. So it's made to fit any size hand, left hand, right hand, big or small.
Already own an incredibly expensive set of knives. Ever seen a kitchen drawer that looks like this? Loads and loads of knives, most of which you never use because they're too dull or aren't right for the job. That's money wasted. A lot of money when you add it all up. It's actually much more cost-effective to invest in a set of quality knives. Knives that come with a forever guarantee. Knives that are designed for every conceivable kitchen duty. Knives that you'll be happy to use every day. Let's take a quick look at a few of the most popular knives in a set. If you've ever tried to cut a tomato with a dull knife.
You like tomatoes?
Every once in a while.
You ever notice how it kind of smashes when you cut it?
You know how frustrating and messy it can be.
I'm just getting her thinking, right? I'm just dropping a seed.
The Cutco trimmer makes quick work of tomatoes, oranges, apples, cucumbers, great for sectioning grapefruit and oranges. Easily trims and bones meat, poultry, and fish. It's even a great bar knife for lemons and limes. This versatile knife is a star of your set, and one of the key reasons Cutco won About.com's Reader's Choice Award for Best Cutlery Brand.
The trimmer. I love the trimmer. That's my favorite knife. I use it when I'm cutting up salads and I'm trimming a steak.
I use it for my meats like chicken, roast. I really use it for everything. So it's a pretty
Some of my customers have like 4 or 5 of those, Miss Jones.
Purpose knife.
Ready to do some chopping, dicing, slicing, and mincing? The Home Chef now has a classic knife at their disposal, the Petite Chef. Just place the tip on the cutting board and rock the blade, using the back of the blade to do the cutting. When done this way, you feel as though you're cutting air.
My favorite Cutco knife is the chef knife. Just cutting the lettuce when we want it super fine or really chopped really fine, it makes cooking a lot easier.
It has the nice long blade and chop quickly. I don't think I realized how efficient that would be.
And now, the knife that's more than a knife, the Cutco Spatula Spreader. It's the world's premier...
You like to make sandwiches, Miss Jones, for the kids?
Yes, I make them every day.
Awesome. You'll love this one.
Sandwich and bagel knife. Spread mayo, cream cheese, or jellies. No muss, no fuss. Cut cakes with ease. Serve up neat, appetizing portions of lasagna. Slice up a pizza.
By far, my favorite knife is the spatula knife. Great for sandwiches.
You can cut the bagel, then you can scoop the spread. It's all with one tool.
Finally, let's look at a knife you probably won't use every day, but when you need it, you'll be so glad it's in your set. It's the renowned Cutco Butcher Knife. It may look intimidating, but use it once and you'll wonder how you ever got along without it. Heavy duty and tough, it easily segments and trims big cuts of meat and disjoints poultry. Watch it go through a squash.
You ever cut like butternut squash or acorn squash and have a hard time getting through it?
I don't do it often. No, not really.
Do you ever do it?
Maybe every once in a while.
Gotcha, like once or twice a year?
Probably, yeah.
So maybe 100 times over the next 40 years?
Yeah.
And also another thing to think about, Michelle, for like melons, do you buy your melons pre-cut or whole?
I buy them pre-cut.
Oh, you're gonna love having the melon knife because it's gonna save you a lot of money. Like if you have say for example, a pineapple, and you look at the difference in price, that whole one right there is $2.99, whereas the pre-cut one's like $8. So how often do you buy a watermelon, pineapple, cantaloupe, something like you could buy whole, but you buy it pre-cut, like a fruit like that?
Yeah, I do that at least once a month.
Okay, for a pineapple once a month, or a pineapple, watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew?
Like one of each, probably.
Okay, so maybe 4 of them per month?
Yeah, probably 4.
Okay, so maybe you don't do it every month, but like 40 times throughout the year. Mm-hmm. So over the next, that's 40 times a year. Over the next 40 years, that's gonna be 1,600 times.
Wow.
So think about this. Do a quick calculation for me. You see that 1,600?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do a quick calculation. Let's just say it costs you $7 instead of $3 buying it pre-cut. They're usually like, depends on the weight of it, $7 to $9 if it's pre-cut. Let's just call it, you spend an extra $4 because you buy it pre-cut. Is that a safe bet?
Yeah, I guess.
And you do it because it's convenient, right?
Mm-hmm.
And why is it convenient? Well, you probably don't have the right knife to do it, so you don't feel confident with it, so you just buy it pre-cut, right?
Correct, yeah.
And you kind of don't even really think about it, but that's going to literally save you $6,400 over the next 4 years.
Yeah.
So.
Pineapple, even a watermelon at a single pass.
Butcher knife, great for cutting meat. Just goes through it like crazy.
It's so easy to get around. You don't have to worry about the heat because it has that length.
Having the right knife for the right job is like having the right club for every shot, the right tool for every task, the right shoes for every occasion. With the right set of Cutco knives, your work goes faster, better, and is a lot more rewarding. With Cutco knives, cooking is fun. Beyond that, using a dull knife, especially for the wrong purpose, is a serious safety hazard. It's been proven that most kitchen accidents involve the knife, especially a dull knife. That's because people force dull knives and use them improperly in order to get them to cut, and that's how accidents happen. Sharp, safely stored, and properly used knives are a far safer choice and make your kitchen a much more enjoyable place. All the knives in your Cutco set are guaranteed to be sharp forever because we'll sharpen them for free, anytime, anywhere, no matter how long ago you bought them. How sharp are they? Watch this. This is the Cutco Petite Carver. Our customers have given this knife a 5-star rating on Cutco.com, and no wonder. This is a length of thick rope. It's tough and fibrous, like a big roast. Now watch this. If it can cut rope like this, imagine how easily it will glide through your toughest cutting jobs.
Other knives I had to saw through. With Cutco, I have not had to do that. They stay sharp. I have been 100% satisfied.
It's clear that a Cutco knife set is the premier choice and the most important set of tools in your kitchen. So now let's talk value. Remember that every knife in every set is American-made in Cutco's own facility in upstate New York and is completely covered by Cutco's one-of-a-kind Forever Guarantee. These are knives that will last for your lifetime and beyond. Nobody else offers that kind of value.
The Cutco knives made a huge difference in our kitchen. For 15 years, we've had the same set of knives. Everybody talks about the good quality and the sharpness of it, how long it stays sharp. I know that we've gotten our money's worth out of those knives.
Remember, too, that Cutco knives are made of the highest quality materials. The handles, for example, are not wood or cheap plastic, but thermal resin.
Now, this is actually the same material they use for football helmets and bowling balls, as well as the insides of some dishwasher parts, Miss Manley. So that actually is what makes them dishwasher safe. So you can throw them in the dishwasher, not have to worry about it, paired with the 440A high carbon surgical stainless steel. Those two things are what makes the clients, for Cutco owners, be able to literally just put it in the dishwasher, not have to worry about it. So I think you'll really like that feature.
For far greater strength, dishwasher endurance, and long-term durability. They won't crack, splinter, chip, or absorb grease. Wooden handles can become bacteria breeding grounds, and cheap brass rivets quickly discolor and show their age. Cutco exclusively uses corrosion-resistant nickel-silver rivets for the utmost in appearance and durability.
Now, that nickel-silver rivet enables it to not basically what happens over time. This rivet on a lot of knives, like I'd be willing to bet, Miss Manley, if you were to touch your rivet, I'd be willing to bet you'd feel some separation. Because if you put it in the dishwasher, the heat of the dishwasher causes it to drop down or rise away from the handle. Well, if there's little cracks or little spots in there, what do you think could get stuck in there, Miss Manley?
Bacteria and stuff, maybe.
Exact salmonella, staph, E. coli, palm sweat from your hand, any dead skin from your hand, and then it just kind of builds up over time. So literally like 5 years ago, you didn't even think about it, but you cut some raw chicken and then the salmonella got into the knife and could be just like festering in there. And that could even like termites and cockroaches and stuff like that can feed off that. So it's really, really gross.
This customer favorite has a
Do you use scissors in the kitchen, by the way?
Every once in a while, yeah.
Use them around the house at all?
Sometimes.
Your kids probably use them more than you do, right?
Yeah.
But people love these because they actually come apart and you can use them both indoors and outdoors. So check this out. They come apart at 90 degrees. So you can use them both indoors and outdoors, which is pretty cool.
5-star rating for a reason. Strong and versatile. You can use them in the kitchen, the garden, anywhere. Cut everything from delicate herbs to that ridiculously tough plastic packaging your regular scissors just can't handle. And the heavy-duty blades separate for easy cleaning. How powerful are the shears? Strong enough to easily cut through this penny. Your Cutco representative is ready to answer any questions you may have and help you choose the set that turns this into this. And this into this. Thanks for choosing Cutco. American made, forever guaranteed.
So that gives you a little feel of what it's like owning Cutco and some of the products, Miss Manley. Now, before we go into any of the sets, what I'd like to do is I'd like to ask you a few questions to figure out which set I should show you and which one might be best for you.
Okay.
Because I want to make sure that what you choose to get today is what you're really going to love and really going to enjoy and use every single day for the rest of your life. So before we go into the different sets, let me ask you a couple questions. First off, how many nights a week do you usually cook? Is it like average 2 to 3? Is it like 1 to 2, 2 to 3, or 4 or more?
I'd say 2 to 3.
2 to 3, okay. So that's actually a little bit above average. Average is like for a home cooked meal, like 1 to 2 nights on average. Now, right
Okay.
now, it's a little bit more just because of the quarantine and everything that's going on, but kind of typically 1 to 2 is pretty normal, 2 to 3 is a little above average, and then 4 or more is what we consider people really cook a lot. Do you cook because you have to, like to, or love to?
Probably because I have to. I don't really enjoy it.
Okay, you just kind of do it because you have to for the family?
Hmm.
Okay, by the way, that's most moms, so don't feel bad about that. And when you do entertain, Miss Manley, do you entertain for like 10, 12, 16, or like 40 to 50?
I'd say maybe 10 to 20.
Okay, 10 to 20 in that range. Okay. Based on what you told me, I want to give you a heads up that we have 3 main sets. Okay. Now, the first is called our complete set. Okay. This right here is our complete set. This right here is our complete set. And you'll see right here, our complete set, it has all of the tools. It's kind of like a food processor in a block. Okay. It's kind of like a food processor in a block. Okay. And this right here is our family set. Take it back to our family set here. This is our family set. The complete set has 12 table knives.
Okay.
This one has 10. And this is just one step down. It basically has all of our basic tools plus our top 3 customer requested knives, which our top 3 customer requested knives are the Hardy Slicer, you'll see right next to the fork, the Petite Santoku, and the cheese knife. The Hardy Slicer is the aggressive tool for like, you can use it for raw sweet potatoes or cutting something off the grill. A lot of people really like the Petite Santoku as a smaller chopping knife. And then we have the cheese knife that has holes in it so things don't stick to the blade. So that's going to be good for like zucchini, squash, like soft zucchini, soft squash, or like cucumbers or white potatoes that tend to stick to the blade. You ever find that when you're cutting a white potato, how you kind of have to peel it off?
Yeah, sometimes I don't do potatoes much, but
What
yeah.
about cheese? Do y'all ever do like cheese and crackers?
Sometimes.
You know, when you cut a piece of cheese, it kind of sticks to the blade. The reason this has holes in it so things don't stick. Now, with the family set, you also do get the pair of super shears. Okay.
Yeah.
And then this right here is our basic set. Okay. This is kind of our bare bones minimum, just kind of get you by set for a mom who never really cooks and hates to do it. Maybe she cooks one night a week and she just needs some knives to cut some stuff. Okay. So this is the bare bones minimum. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start by going over the basic tools, and then I'll show you the difference of what the signature and the complete have along with it, okay?
Okay.
Now, Ryan, for this video,
All right.
I'm going to show you how to show the basic tools. What I just did was created your mind around the basic set, but introduced you to the signature and the complete before I showed you the tools.
All right. Yeah. See,
now, the way I really close, Ryan, with this client, I would go straight to a complete set because that's what she's saying is best.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what she's telling me is best for her right now is that complete set.
Okay.
So do you want to see how I would close, or do you want to see the easy way to close?
How you would close.
Okay.
So when you're doing the presentation, would you still go through that PowerPoint of all the basic tools, or would you kind of just go with the video?
So the nice thing about the video that I showed you is it already shows some of the cutting demos, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So if she says she hates cooking and she doesn't really like to cook very much, then I would go to the homemaker. So let's play it out. A couple different scenarios. Let's play it out. Let's say she says she doesn't cook, she never entertains, and she cooks because she has to.
Okay.
Well, then what I would do is I would say, okay, perfect. You sound like a great candidate for our basic set, Ms. Jones. So what I'm going to do is walk you through the tools in our basic set.
Okay.
And then I would go through, the basic set, tool by tool, explain to her what that does, just like you learned in training.
All right.
But if she says she likes to cook or she entertains for more people, then she's going to be a candidate for the signature of the complete.
Okay.
Okay. So I like to introduce them first, ask her a few questions, and recommend a set based on the answers to those questions.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes. Now, if it's someone that loves to cook and they're looking at the bigger set, would you still go through that? You just say, I'm going to show you the basic tools, and then you'll talk about those specific extra tools.
No. I would only take that route if she says she never really cooks. Then I would go to the basic.
Okay.
If she says she likes to cook, then I'm recommending either the complete or the signature.
Okay.
I'm recommending one of those two based on what she told me, how many she entertains for. I like to go here, and then I can always drop down to the family.
All right.
Does that make sense? So she just answered a couple questions. Based on what she told me, she's going to be a great candidate for this. So I'll just introduce the fact that we have 3 main sets, and then based on what you told me, this set's going to be best for you because you answered these questions this way.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's my names and uses. I'm going to do this section, Ryan, and then we're going to stop the video, and then we'll do a part 2 a little bit later, okay?
Okay.
My name, I want you to understand my names and uses is simpler. Less is more, okay? Less is more. Some people talk way too much about the tools. Less is more.
Right.
So, Ms. Jones, this right here, like I said, is our complete set. I'm going to start with this one so you can get a feel of everything that we have here. And plus, you said you entertain for like 12 to 20. So honestly, this is going to be the only one that has enough table knives for you. So, and by the way, Miss Manley, if you look at the tool and you're like, oh my God, Ben, I would never use that, then tell me that and let's talk about it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because remember, what you've had in the past isn't necessarily what you're going to have in the future. So it's important that you kind of know what they're used for. And, I've had people before that had a set with 10 knives in it, and they went to the complete set and they couldn't imagine ever going to anything different. Okay. Like, I think it's really important that you think about in the future. Remember, this is a set that you're going to buy once, never have to replace, forever guaranteed, that you're going to use 20, 30, 40 years down the road. It's not something that you're just going to have. It's not like going to the grocery store and buying some eggs and then going next week and getting some more eggs. It's not like, buying it's not even like buying carpet in your house, because carpet, you're going to have to replace it every 10 years anyway. Like Cutco, you buy it once, you never have to replace it. It's forever guaranteed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And by the way, when you look at the block of this thing, you're like, oh my God, Ben, that block's so big. Ms. Jones, hold up your piece of paper. You got a piece of paper that you're working on there? You're writing some stuff down?
I don't have paper. I'm taking it on the side of my screen.
Okay, well, here's a piece of paper.
Okay.
That's the size of the complete set block.
Okay.
So the complete set block, just for reference, is the size of one piece of paper.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm framing her mind, right, Ryan?
Okay.
Okay,
yes,
perfect.
I see.
Now, this set right here, Miss Manley, I'm going to do them in groups of tools. So the one on the left is we have the paring knife. So you have a 2-inch, and then on the right side, you have a 4-inch paring knife.
Okay.
Let me real quick grab one thing. Okay, perfect. Don't necessarily need that. Okay, so we have the paring knives. You have a 2-inch and a 4-inch. The 2-inch you're going to use for stuff up in the air, and then the 4-inch you'll actually be able to use on the cutting board. So for like cutting a lime, maybe a mango, strawberry, something like that.
All right.
Okay. Do you cut strawberries and like peel stuff in the air?
Every once in a while.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Then you have the trimmer and the hardy slicer. Okay. These right here are like your utility knives. The trimmer is going to be for something that you can hold in your hand, like an apple. A lot of people use it for something like a tomato that you saw in the video before. And then your hardy slicer, that's going to be more, you see the one right in the middle under the onion there?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be like a trimmer on steroids. So anything that is a little harder and thicker and tougher to cut through, like a raw sweet potato or, bell peppers. You ever cut bell peppers?
Not really. No.
Okay. You don't ever cut bell peppers ever?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay, no sweat. Do you ever cut sweet potatoes?
Yeah, we do sweet potatoes sometimes.
Okay, perfect. You know how when you cut through a sweet potato, it's kind of hard to get through because it's like raw?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be your sweet potato missions. You'll love that. Then you have your spatula spreader. These are kind of more your serving tools. You have your spatula spreader, and it actually is very flexible. I know you said you cut a lot of sandwiches. You make a lot of sandwiches. And then on the right side, you see the cheese knife right there. That's going to be for your cheese and crackers like we were talking about before. So that's going to be good for cutting through anything that tends to stick. Do you ever cut cucumbers?
Yes, we do.
Okay, perfect. So anything with water on the inside of it, it's going to be great for that.
Okay.
And then you have a small carving set. You see where it says petite carver and turning fork on the left-hand side there?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be your carving set for under 5 pounds.
Yeah.
Then you have your larger carving set, the carver and the carving fork. That's going to be for over 5 pounds. So under 5 pounds petite carver, over 5 pounds larger carver. Let me give you an example. Rotisserie chicken from Kroger Publix, you're going with a small carving set. You cook a tenderloin, you cook a turkey, something like that, or you get a ham and you want to cut that, for serving. A lot of people are like, well, Ben, I don't do that very much. Well, Ms. Jones, think about it. If you do it 2 or 3 times a year, that's 80 to 120 times over the next 40 years. Plus, you're going to pass this set down to your kids anyway. So it's important, Miss Manley, that we think about it like this. It's not about I don't need that knife every day. It's much better to have something and not need it than to need it and not have it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and then you have your melon knife, what it says butcher knife right there, right next to the turning fork, and your cleaver. Those are kind of like your heavy duty tools. Your melon knife right there, that's going to be good for honeydew, watermelon, cantaloupe. That's that one I told you is going to save you a bunch of money. Okay. That's that melon knife. And the reason it's rounded is so that things don't stick when you try and cut into it. Like a lot of people try and use a chef knife to cut into like a watermelon or a honeydew, and they end up doing exactly like you. They don't like it, doesn't work very well, so they start buying them pre-cut. That melon knife you're going to love, butcher or melon knife. The cleaver, Ms. Jones, I know you wouldn't use that very much, but if somebody comes into your house and you want to scare them, you grab that one, okay? That's the big one. Now, this is going to be it's going to be good for anything that's frozen. Or do you ever like take a chicken breast and make it in a flatter, like use it as almost like a mount, you like to flatten it out, like for chicken parmesan or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
It's really good for that. Do you ever do any like chopped chicken or like chopped pork or any like barbecue where you put some sauce on it and take the meat and kind of put the sauce into it?
Pork sometimes, yeah.
Okay, it's great for that. A lot of people love that cleaver for chopped meats. And then obviously just anything that's really tough and hard to get through. Like, I mean, Ms. Jones, that cleaver's 5 pounds of steel. You could literally take a coconut and cut into a coconut with the cleaver.
Okay.
It's awesome. Or like, you ever go to Costco or Sam's and buy the bigger roast and maybe you only want to cook like half of it? Like, what do I do with the other half? I got to cook the whole thing because I don't know how to cut it. So you can actually take this, cut it right up, freeze half of it if you want to.
Wow.
Right. Then you have your chopping knives. Your chopping knives are going to be your chef knife, which is the traditional, do this motion with me, point down, rock back and forth. That's going to be your traditional chef knife, okay? And then you'll look over on the side, you have a santoku and a vegetable knife. These are really cool. These do not come in the basic sets, okay? The vegetable knife. The santoku, check this out, Miss Manley. You can actually roll with it. So you see how it's rounded at the tip instead of completely pointed like a chef knife? So this is actually an Asian-inspired chef knife. And what it's meant for is it's meant to make it easier to roll through and chop through smaller foods. A little lighter than a chef knife. Then your vegetable knife has a flat blade. So that way you can actually hold the knife like this and press back and forth. Go back and forth and scoop back and forth. It's also going to be really good for something like cabbage, thick carrots, celery. A lot of people use this for like bok choy, something where it's kind of big leafy greens where you want to kind of push through it. It's kind of like the vegetable cleaver for tough vegetables. And then lastly, you have your raw meat knives and your slicers. So the slicers, you get a large slicer for breads, cakes, and pies. You get a petite slicer for sandwiches, bagels, smaller breads. And then you also have your raw meat knives, which are going to be your salmon knife and your boning knife. The boning knife is going to be for like raw chicken or raw pork tenderloin, something where you want to just trim the fat off, or if you want to cut it into smaller strips or cubes. A lot of people use that for like butterflying a chicken breast or something like that. And then the salmon knife is not only for salmon. You can actually use that for, a lot of people use that for really thin cuts of beef, or you can use it to remove the, you ever got a tenderloin at like Costco or Sam's and you've kind of seen that fatty film on the top and you want to kind of hold it up and cut around it? Well, this is actually a flexible knife. So it can actually bend around what you're cutting. It's awesome for really thin cuts. So a lot of people do use it for salmon or like removing the skin away from fish, but it's really, you can actually use it for anything where you want a really thin cut. And then the set obviously comes with a pair of shears. You get 3 cutting boards with it, and then it comes with 12 of the table knives.
Okay.
So that's the complete set. The difference between the complete and the family set is you don't get the cleaver. You don't get the cleaver, and you don't get the vegetable knife, and a couple of the larger tools.
See, I don't think if I'd just use those anyway. Like that's a lot of knives. And how much are these sets, by the way?
Hey, great question. We're going to get to that here in a minute.
Okay.
Okay, so Ryan, we're going to pause because I got to jump to
I got you. Yeah, I'm just, it would be good if we do like a part 2 with the closing.
We're going to do part 2. So that's okay. Part 1 going over the tools. Okay? All right. So Ryan just asked me about the prices. We're going to get to that here in a second. Okay, we just went through the difference between the complete and the family set, and then I'm going to go through and do a dual close between those 2 sets. Okay, so I'm going to stop recording here, and we'll do a part 2 here in a little bit.